So in this, oh, I didn't. So in this, you got the 10 Commandments, right? And the 10 Commandments say, basically, like we were saying, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You don't want to be killed. You don't want to have somebody cheat with your wife, covet your goods, your husband, steal from you. You don't want any of that. So don't do it to anyone else. And that's what I was saying. Do you want to be told what to do? No. Who here wants to be told what to do? Oh, look at nobody's saying that. Of course not. So who are you to tell someone what to do? Think about that for a minute. How many of you, oh, and trust me, there's a lot of you, because I get the emails. I get a lot of emails saying, you got to do this. Oh, read this. You got to read this. You got to watch this. You got to do this. No, I don't got to. I don't got to at all. But no, and you do it thinking, because that's the way you were brainwashed in school. You do it thinking that, or in church, you're assisting someone. No, you're crossing dominion. Don't tell me what to do. I mean, how many of you, this one for sure, how many of you just want to when somebody's sitting there, this is how you have to do it. You're not doing it right. Excuse me? Who made you the boss of me? How many have heard that expression? How many have said that expression? Don't we have enough getting it from our mom and dad until we turn 18? And some of us still get it. Yeah. As the Italians with the broken accents say, my family, shut your face. Shut your face. Keep your mouth shut. Capiche? And it's been Saint Germain, for those of you who don't know it, Saint Germain told me many, 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 many moons ago, probably around 2000. His comment was, if mankind would have shut their mouth, they would have ascended by now. Because what many don't comprehend is many, many, many of the words you speak are contracting you to darkness. It's just how the system was set up. And we're not going to go into all of that today, but I've been doing this forever, and many of you have heard it. Many, many, many of the words you say. I understand. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. No, I don't understand anybody. I comprehend. I'm an intelligent being, thanks to my divine creator, and I can comprehend whatever the divine creator wishes me to comprehend. So, all right, so let's go to Bob's question. Here we go. When we're starting from a miscreation in our body, it sounds like it's more effective if we say things out loud to give more energy to decrees, like I am divine Christ-light, and perhaps I have divine Christ-light perfect vision. I appreciate. Okay, Bob. So here's the thing. Here's the very, very thing. How many of you were trying to study something in school or try to memorize something? And you would write it, you would speak it. When you speak something, it adds more senses. You're using this sense and you're using this sense. You're also using a sense, which people don't comprehend fully yet. You guys do. You're using the energy sense, which your body can feel it, the vibration. So when you speak something, it has more power to it. Now, the way you create, believe it or not, is by sound. And the Lord said, and God said, the divine said, let there be light. And there was light, and it was good. He didn't think it, or she didn't think it. He said it. What happens is, when everything that we speak, let me get some paper here. Gotta get a piece of paper, hold on. All right. Let me get my pens. Woo-hoo. So, everything that we think, everything that we say, everything that we do, everything is a frequency. By the way, for those in the U.S. or any country who want to vote, there's a decree on Lena's library about voting. Look at it. There's a whole explanation. You don't want to miss that. Okay, so this is the frequency. I know many of you have seen this a million times. We do have some newbies, and that's a frequency. That happens to be a sine wave. So everything that we speak, do, say is coming out as a frequency. When you think, now this is the power of the frequency. So a small, a wimpy frequency, same speed, 1 hertz, this is 1 hertz, 1 cycle per second, same frequency, but not as loud, will go like that. This is another one. This is the same frequency as this, but one has more power behind it. So a brain thought, because we have been taken out of our brains so much, meaning we use only the memory part. We basically, what is our brain now doing? Our brain is just a computer. It's the memory. We regurgitate like cows from our brain. Only what was put in here can come back out. We don't use the OmniMind anymore. We use the 3DP. So what was ever programmed, if you were taught 2 plus 2 is 4, and I ask you, what is 2 plus 2? All of you would say 4. Some smartasses might say 22 for a good laugh, but it's 4. So that's what we learned, right? So what is the brain doing? It's just regurgitating what was put in there. And that's where we work from. That's where we live from. That's where we speak from. And that is not powerful. That is a tool given by Divine Creator for us to create with. So, because it's just a tool, we'll make it, what color? Pink, because that's the one I grabbed. This is the power, vamp of your thought pattern. Compared to authority versus we. How many of you have ever been told by your mother or father to eat your peas or something like that? And you didn't. Like, honey, eat your peas. You do this with your dogs, right? Honey, eat your peas. Monica, I told you to eat your peas. Monica, eat your peas. You eat your peas, don't you? There's authority in it. There's a big difference. So that's what I'm saying. The more amplification, the more power you put behind it, the further it goes out to the substrate. So how do we create? We create by the way we were intended to create. And it's been proven by science. This is not me. It's been proven by science. Your heart, they say, is a bigger computer. It's not a computer. Your heart has more synapses than your brain. It's got more power. Your heart is connected to your DNA. Your divine natural attributes are your divine natural attributes. It's programmed in there. It's like ragu. Everything is in there. Your divine natural attributes, in your DNA. So what have they taught everybody to do? To not bother to talk to their DNA. So their DNA is doing exactly what you tell it to do. Absolutely nothing. So it's basically gone to sleep on us. All it does is give us life force. People don't even know they can chat with your DNA. And as I've said many times, and then you got all these momos out there going, we're going to activate your DNA. It'll only cost you $5,000, but you'll have your active DNA activated and you'll be able to reach the higher realms of existence and go into the 5th dimensional plane, blah, 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 blah. And my answer to that is, Who the beepity 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 are you to activate my divine natural attributes? How stupid is that? And you want money for it too, you thief. So all that you do is you just chat with your DNA. So the original way was your DNA knows what you came here to do. You had a plan. And it sends the messages to the heart. The heart goes, I remember. Now the heart is inside. It uses the temple, the body elemental. It sends the message up to the P, and the P puts it into words, and out it comes. What you speak, the power and the authority behind it goes out. Whew. There's something called substrate. Many people call it ethers. It's not ethers, it's substrate. It doesn't matter. It goes out into the substrate. The substrate picks it up. The substrate is what is in our earth plane, and we can create by that. But I am divine happiness. And then 5 minutes later, so here it goes. Now I say, I am divine happiness. Now you must accept it. That's the second I am. That's where it comes from the Bible. I am that I am. I am stupid. I am. Then you're going to be stupid. I am divine perfect vision, because this is what Bob is working on. I am divine perfect vision. I am. Then he goes and he puts his glasses on. What's he telling his body? He's not divine perfect vision. So I am divine love. I am. You say it. Then 20 minutes later, I hate myself. Look how ugly I am. My God, I got fat. I got skinny. I got this. I got warts. I got whatever. Boom. You just shut it down. You must hold the focus. That's where vision comes. So I'm going to use Bob because this is his question. So if I go in my head, okay, in my head, I just said, I am divine, perfect vision. Did anybody else hear it? It's got such a tiny frequency, you can't hear it. So if you say it out loud, I am divine, perfect vision. I am. Got a little more power to it. Or I could do it as I am divine, perfect vision. I am. Is that going to do anything? I'm not standing in authority. It's like, eat your peas. I am divine, perfect vision. I am. Authority. Now, I'm using this frequency to get it out there. So whatever comes out of your mouth goes out. And this is not the law of attraction. Everybody gets this wrong. This is so not right, what they say about the law of attraction. So it goes out. I am divine, perfect vision. And it starts heading out. The power and that you send it out with means it goes further. If you go, I am divine, perfect vision, it goes, boom. It's like golfing. You know when you tee up and you go to swing and you tap the ball and it goes, bloop, falls right off the tee and goes nowhere? That's what I am divine, perfect vision does. It goes bloop, right off the tee and falls nowhere. But then when you connect in the sweet spot, or if you don't connect in the sweet spot, let's do that one first. It may go a little bit, it might slice, it might fade, and it's not going where you want it to go. But when you connect that driver in the sweet spot, it just goes and goes and goes. Everything was aligned. When you are aligned with the Christ light, and you line up, and let's say that little golf ball is your vision, and you just swing with the power and the authority that you have, and everything is aligned in perfection, it's out of here. As they like to say in baseball, they hit the ball out of the park. So, what you say goes out. Now, this one is powerful, and it goes out with power, so it goes out further. Once a decree, the ones that you just say, I am divine perfect health, boom, it stays in your field. It doesn't go anywhere. It's stuck in your field. So now this went, I am divine perfect vision, and it's way out there. My arm can't go out that far. And it goes now, this is the law of circle. What you say goes out and will always come back to the original creator. Always. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are responsible for your creations. And whatever you speak into creation and whatever you create will be dumped back at you by your feet. It doesn't even matter if it's the same lifetime. So, I am divine, perfect vision goes out. And then it starts goes spinning around. This is the law of circle, right? It's picking up all the same power of I am divine, perfect vision. And it comes back in creation to you. The more you focus on it, the faster and more powerful you are. The more you do it, the faster you can create. Now, how many of you create negative things so fast and easy? I can't do this, right? All the time. And you find out you're living in a world of poop sometimes. I got to keep the throat going. So, the voice is very important. And it goes out there and just comes around. The minute you say, I am divine, perfect vision, woof, I am, there's the acceptance. It goes out, here it is, and then he goes and puts on glasses. Or he says, I can't see this. I can't see this. You just null and voided your creation. And that's why so many times you plant the seed and the seed is just, here's the earth, and it's just about breaking ground and the plant's growing, right? And you say, it's just about that. Oh, I can't do this. Boop. It never comes into fruition. So you must keep the vision. So you close your eyes and you visualize. That's why vision boards are good. You can visualize, let's say I'm going to draw Bob and give Bob a funky do. I gave Bob a real funky do. This is Bob normally wearing glasses. Now Bob closes his eyes. Now Bob sees himself with no glasses and a better do. Oh, let's give my eyebrows. There we go. Give my eyebrows. You got to hold this vision. Because when you hold a vision, what are you doing to it? You're sending the frequency of the creation. So you're sending the frequency of the creation. And when you send the frequency of the creation, you're amplifying, magnifying, intensifying it. So what you can do is too, because we're a bunch of weaklings and we just started with this, I am divine perfect vision. I am. You say it from a place of authority. I call to Lord Yeshua and the ascended masters of the Great White Brotherhood to charge my decree with their momentum to make it so. Let it be maintained, self-sustaining, self-maintaining. And shut your mouth. Don't say, pick up a book, pick up a thing. I can't see this. And if you need, which you don't need, if you are going to put glasses on your face, you simply say, I do not need these. I'm just using them for convenience right now, but I am divine perfect vision. And you put them on. Because here's the funny thing, Bob. Your eyes are the only organ in your body that every 24 hours they completely rejuvenate. Then why is everybody wearing glasses? Because, oh, I don't know. A, you're afraid to see the truth, one thing. B, you're told when you hit 40, you're going to need glasses. And C, it could be like, oh my God, you're just like your mother. You can't see worth a darn. Things like that. And that goes into the computer. And the computer is in the memories, just like your computers at what you're watching it on now, or your cell phones, they have memory. It goes into the memory banks, and the memory banks spread it through the entire body of elemental, the physical, mental, and emotional body. So it goes through all those bodies and it stores in the cellular memory. And guess what? You're such a great creator. You created that you needed glasses. You don't need glasses. Send Christ light. So be careful what you speak. That's why Saint Germain said a long time ago, if mankind and womankind would have shut their mouths, they would have already ascended. The contractual agreements in the Luciferian energy that we do by our mouths. Ugh. And isn't it funny? I'm as guilty as the next one. What do? We bitch about things, but we don't celebrate the good things. How many times, and be honest, think about your life, not just now, think about your life in general. How many times did you call out, do you know what so-and-so did? I can't stand this. Oh, my boss is a pain in the neck. And we go on. How many times have we ever picked up, do you know I'm having the greatest life ever? The divine is just, everything's perfect. I'm just as guilty. Because that's what we've been programmed to do. Because when we speak of the not divine, we attach ourselves into the Luciferian matrix and we give our energy, because remember, the dark side, those who renounce the light cannot create. And we give our energy to the Luciferian matrix, the darkness, so it can be used against us. Think about, this is very important here, Shannon. Think about this, so important. If you're being arrested, what do they say? They read you your rights. Anything you say can be used against you. They're telling you it in a court of law. Remember, everything in the third dimensional world has been taken from us. They have to tell you that, or they can't use your words. Because now you open your mouth and you get yourself in trouble. Anything you say can be used against you. It's the Luciferian matrix's whole MO. When you speak, it goes out, they snatch up that energy, they feed the matrix, and they blast it back at you. And yes, Shannon makes a good point. They teach us that that's bragging. When you say good things about you, it's bragging. No, it's not. Bragging is at someone else's expense. If you're celebrating, is it bragging when you came home and said, oh my gosh, guess what happened? I just passed my test. I did really well. I'm so happy. Is that bragging? No, that's celebrating. So you see how they try to screw you up? When we hear the negative talk. Oh, hear, H-E-A-R. Okay. When we hear, this is a question from Jean. When we hear the negative talk or preach of what we are working on to make it happen, is it true if we hear it but do not accept it, the computer will not register? Yes. You must accept it. However, 99.9999% of the time you accept it without even knowing it, because you're already programmed to accept it. That's why it says in the Bible, when you walk into someone's house, and if they're not of the same energy, you turn around, you take back your energy, and you dust your feet on the way out. Don't leave your energy into the Luciferian matrix. You take it back and you dust your feet. You leave it behind. You don't look at it. If you think for 1 minute watching porn doesn't affect somebody, you're crazy. If you think for 1 minute what our kids see on TV doesn't affect somebody, you're even crazier. It absolutely positively does. Now, what did I just finish saying? You must hold the vision, right? Here's Bob with glasses. Here's Bob without holding the vision. He's sending in frequency, holding the vision to create no glasses. That was why they created. This is what you're doing. You're telling a vision. That's why television was invented. To program everybody. So, does that all make sense to you, Bob? Absolutely, Mira. Mira writes, would this apply to wanting to fix my abdominal separation after having twins? It applies to anything. So, I am divine, perfect health. I am. Don't forget the second I am. The first I am is you decreeing. The second I am is you accepting. That was the original intention of prayers. Prayers are not prayers, they're decrees. And they always ended with I am, which became Amen for Amen Ra. Not going into that today, but yes, you must do the second I am. But yes, it would apply. So if you don't think it would help, for Mira goes, would it help with my abdominal separation? Let me ask you this question. Do you believe for a minute, Mira, that the divine Christ-light can't bring you back to whole body elemental? Do you believe there's anything more powerful than the divine? So it can. So if it can, why would you even ask the question? The issue becomes you getting to that level. And there's not a getting to. Here's the biggest thing that all of you should know. And actually, Christoph and I were talking about this yesterday. The very biggest thing that you should really know. You don't need to get to your Christ light. You are the Christ light. I don't need to get to my hand. It's right here. You have been programmed not to go for it. You have been programmed not to utilize it. The only thing you need to do is to get rid of your programming so you can know who you are. Michael would appreciate some bench light for the ongoing experience of his nose. Okay, you know, peeps, you don't even have to say what's going on. See how you got to keep going and going? So what you do, basically, so I'm going to use Michael as an example because it was his question. I would appreciate some divine healing light for the ongoing experience of my nose. Now, it is not us to qualify our Christ light with intention for what it is to do for him. It is his own job. So, this is how it really should go. I am divine. My nose is divine perfection. You know, I'm divine, whatever. I don't know what's going on with his nose, but let's say we'll use the eyes. I have divine perfect vision. Or maybe it's his skin. I have divine perfect skin on my nose. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to say this. I have divine perfect skin on my nose. I am divine perfection. I am. Now what we do is we put Michael, you don't do it literally, but this is the way you can visualize it easily. We sit next to Michael on a bench and all we do is just create Christ light. Meaning we amplify, intensify our Christ light. So here we are. Christ light goes out and Michael's sitting. I visualize Michael being next to me and my Christ light is tapping on his Christ light. It's the same frequency. That assists if he chooses to accept, it assists his Christ light to expand bigger. My Christ light's not doing a blessed thing. I can't heal someone else. Even Jesus said it. It is not I who heal, but your belief that heals. Jesus wasn't a great healer. What he did was whoosh, Christ light. And that Christ light went, it was so familiar. It's like I say, when you're in a great mood and you go into a house where everybody's screaming and being nasty, don't you go from to woo. If you're in there for 15 minutes, you're now miserable too. Or vice versa. If you're in a real miserable mood and you go into a party where everybody's having fun, you shift up to fun, don't you? You bring that miserable mood up because the frequencies external affect your internal. So if Michael is sitting there focusing on his bad nose, and my Christ light comes along, wah, 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 and it's shining out, his Christ light goes, ooh, I remember you. I remember Christ light. And his starts getting excited and having a party, and it grows bigger and bigger. And his Christ light does the healing for him. No one can heal you, only you can heal yourself. So his own Christ light starts growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And that's what now Michael's standing in the Christ light power. And then he says again, I have divine perfect skin. I am divine perfect skin. I am. And now it starts to heal. Until he goes, oh, look at this crap on my nose. I can't, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is for him. So, Michael, you don't have to type it. I'm giving you 2 seconds. State your decree of what you want. And guess what? Remember how we say, before you do it, Michael, remember how we said to him, I am divine perfect vision. We were talking about Bob Miller. I am divine perfect vision. I am. And I call to Lord Yeshua and the ascended masters to charge my decree with their momentum. That's the same thing. What Michael is doing, he's calling for all of us to bring our momentum of our Christ light to assist in him healing himself. And what that does is exactly what Jesus did. Now, there's got to be an energy exchange. Everything you give, you must receive. There's an energy exchange. Energy is not free. It must be exchanged. The greatest gift that we're doing is not for Michael. It's for ourselves. We are amplifying our Christ light. We're healing ourselves. We're bringing ourselves up to a higher level. So you have to do that if you choose for Michael, and then your energy exchange is you are the divine Christ light. You're helping yourself. You must help yourself. So when you state these from now on, all of you, make sure you put your decree in there. The Christ consciousness, the Christ light is divine consciousness. It knows exactly what has to be done for everyone involved. It's not a pea brain like us who think we have these beliefs and we know better. It's none of that crap. It's not ego-based. It's none of that. It does what's right for all involved. So you don't even have to qualify it with anything. All you have to do is be it. So if anybody would like to join me, Michael, say your decree to yourself. You don't have to do it on the webinar because nobody needs to know your business and what's going on with your nose. So Michael says his decree. So now all of us, if you choose, just imagine you sit next to Michael. You don't even have to know what he looks like. Just put his name out there. You're sitting on a bench next to Michael. And just shine your Christ light. That's all you need to do. So guess what you just did? You're becoming an ascended master. What do we call to the ascended masters? To charge our decree with their momentum. Did Michael just call to us to charge his decree with our momentum. Does that mean we're masters? We're getting there. Okay, so I know there's something going on in the chat. I'm trying to ignore it because it's a very distracting thing. The reason you don't post your, oh, this is my belief, this is my belief, this is my belief, and that's fine. Nobody asked you for it, is number one. So you're crossing dominion. What you're doing is you're courting everybody to you, which you don't want to do. You definitely don't want to do that yourself. When you give someone your opinion without being asked, you're courting to it. And now you're stuck into their field, and you got to clear their shit for them too, because now you won. You don't want those cords. You want to cut all ties, cords, and attachments. So unless somebody asks, you shut your mouth. It's as simple as that. I'm answering questions I was asked. You come to PPF because you ask. You know, like when I go through one of my things with my tooth, like I had this infected tooth that was getting really bad, and I appreciate it. People have sent me things about it. That's all well and good, but I didn't ask you. So guess what? That's on you. You just created all these ties you have to do. And there was times I asked for him Christ light, amplify, because doesn't pain bring you down? It's difficult to stay up in the high because our programming, we have pain. We don't run into the Christ light. We go into hell, basically. Oh, it hurts. So we raise up when somebody comes along like that. So when you start to sink down, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for each other. We shine our Christ light. So when you see somebody doing something bad or out in the world and they're struggling, you don't have to go up to them and fix their life. All you have to do is shine your Christ light. And I told a story a long time ago. I was downtown. There was a lady with a baby in a carriage, a stroller thing, sitting on a couch outside the courtroom. It was the courts. I was driving by. She was sitting on the courts a bench, crying, and she had her little baby in a carriage. So I pulled over because I heard to pull over. I pulled over and I went up to her and I said, "Would you mind if I sit next to you?" She said no. She actually slid over and I just stood next. I didn't say a word. I just shined Christ light. I got up to walk away and she said to me, "Thank you." And she was smiling and not crying. I didn't do a word. I didn't do anything. I just asked her, could I sit next to her? Now, I didn't have to do that. I could have sat in the car and done it. But I don't know her, and I heard to do it that way. So I listened. But you don't have to do that. You can just shine your Christ light more. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, there's plenty of opportunities to shine your Christ light. But don't qualify it. Never say anything to the effect of, "Oh, look at that poor guy suffering. I'm going to shine Christ light so he doesn't suffer." That judgment, that's ego. You are not to qualify your Christ light for someone else. You are crossing dominion. It is not your place. You do not know the game plan of that individual. Maybe the higher aspect of that individual, the divine aspect, is making that individual suffer so they can reach rock bottom, so they can turn to the Lord, turn to their divinity, turn to their Christ light. Because I'll tell you what, a lot of people don't get it until they go through hell. I can guarantee you, because I'm in North Carolina and I know exactly what's going on. Half the truth of community is bullshit, wrong about what's going on in North Carolina. But I can guarantee you that most of those people are now looking up to God. And sometimes you have to hit rock bottom before you turn to the light. So what could be, in your mind, the very worst experience might be the only thing that would have gotten them there. For others, It may be what they need to go through. You don't know. You are not their divine aspect. So shutter your face, shutter your intention, shutter your ego. Just shut up and be the Christ light. And that's all you need to do. Oh, but we got to get involved. And sometimes when your friends call you to bitch or to complain, they don't give them a solution. That's a way of people getting out the bad energy. And the best thing you can do when your friend calls you to complain is shine Christ light. Jasmine says, so when we sit on the bench, so to speak, we simply put our attention on them for a time, just attention? No! All you do is shine Christ light. For example, that one when I'm telling you when I was in the car, I could have shined my Christ light right then and there. I'm not as powerful as Yeshua yet. I forgot who I am. I'm still here, right? We're all still here. So we're not being that most awesome, amazing being that's pure Christ light. Yeshua is the Christ light 24/7 now. I'm not that. Negate, ab initio. I am divine Christ light. This is for explanation only. I'm not at that level yet. Negate. I'm using this for exclamation. Make it go away instantly. So if I sat in the car, yes, there is no time-space continuum. In my mind, not the world, but in my mind, am I close to that individual? No. So what worked better for me, and my divine knows my limitations that I have in place on myself. Nobody else put them there. I believe them. I'm like everybody else working to get rid of them. If I sat next to an individual, I would feel more power. Would it affect her any differently? No. Did it affect me differently? Yes. Hearing the words, wow, thank you. And she didn't even know what I did, but she felt it. Hearing those words assisted me, not her. It was all, see, that's what I'm saying. When you do things for others, you're doing them for myself. No atheist and fox. So you don't put the intention. The minute you put intention on something for someone else, you're qualifying your Christ light for theirs, for them. And that's not what you do. You don't know what their plan is. You just sit next to them. It's literally like you're doing this. Oh, wait a minute. Don't go away. 2 seconds. I'll show you some. Okay, Sammy. This is going to start a problem with Sammy, but it's okay. So, think of you in a bad mood. Just for a second, right? You're in a bad mood. And somebody like this comes into your life. Can you still be in a bad mood? Doesn't this make you laugh? Right? Somebody sent this to me. Oh, I gotta put this up here and close the door. Sammy thinks it's his toy, so I told you this is gonna start havoc with Sammy. He loves it. He wants to chew on it. But that's you. That's you. For someone, someone's in a bad mood and you're basically doing the giggles. But your giggles is Christ-like. Now, I'm not going to do it again because I don't want to upset Sammy, okay? Arr, you got somebody in a bad mood and you're shining Christ-like. And they go. It's the same as if you heard that. They're hearing that. And they're like, F that. I don't give a shit. You're not going to assist them anyway. That's their issue. They're choosing not to heal themselves. So now does the expression that's in the Bible that says, it is not I who heal you, it is you who heal you. Because, oh, I will do it one more time. I heard you. Let me get it out. Go, Sammy. I'm in a bad mood. Oh, that stupid thing. Now that thing never shuts off. Thank you, Yeshua. It shut itself off. No, get down off my desk. Or, what if you do this? I'm in a bad mood. I've accepted to heal myself. Versus, I don't want to. I chose not to the first time. So you see the expression, it is not I who heal you, but no, you can't have it. So you just be the giggles. You just be the Christ light. You're in bliss. That's why it's not God be less you. You're telling God to be less. You're God bless you. Be the bliss. They changed one letter and it changed the whole thing, right? So just be that. Don't put any attention to it. That's not your job, man. As Freddie Prinze used to say, not my job, man. It is not your job. Your job is to be the Christ light. That's it. And if you are asked, now here's what happens. You're the Christ light. You tap into the quantum field. Ooh, ah. You get all this knowledge downloaded. Ooh, ah. People start to see it. Ooh, ah. They want to know. Then they come and ask questions. PPF. You get it? Does that make sense? No, you don't focus on them. You just imagine sitting on a bench next to them. I use that expression of sitting on a bench because that's what worked for me. It made me feel good, and it would make many of you feel good if you imagine sitting next to that one. And then they come back and say, ooh, this happened and this happened. Just be who you are. You're not a 3DP. You're Christ-like, having an experience as a 3DP brain. All right, next question. No, the quantum field is not the matrix. The quantum field is what's known as the photon belt, is what's known as the Christ light. It's what's known as the whole thing. Now, is artificial interconnections in there, interconnect into the quantum field? Yes, through us. All of you are connected to the quantum field. And all of you are connected to the matrix. So can the matrix tap into the quantum field through you? Absolutely. Then why do we bring up names at all? Why not just beam? Oh, very simple. Because you're trying to put yourself close to them. So Jasmine, if you want to, see, I don't use the word attention, but if you want to look at it, maybe that's your word to use it. Maybe we're saying the same things a different way. I'm just sitting next to Nadine or sitting next to Michael. I just want to get close to them because they're asking me and they're accepting it. So in my mind, sitting next to them. So if that's what you mean by attention, by putting your attention on that individual, I use it as vision. I visualize them there. If you mean visualization is attention, then we're talking the same thing, but the word attention doesn't mean the same as visualizing. So, but yes, if that's what you mean by that, yes, then we're saying the same thing. All right, so next question. See, Gina writes this. This is why this is so good. Now, Gina wants to send gratitude for all who put her kitty Basilnon on the bench. The change in him is night and day. Love you all so very much. See, now, doesn't that assist you in going, wow, look what we did? And should we have to do that? No, but we're not there yet. We are not there yet. We need the little, we done good right now. You can put anybody you choose. That you're not putting them on a park bench. You are sitting next to them. And you can sit next to anybody you choose and shine Christ light. Why? Because it is your God-given right. You are the divine Christ light. You are just being you. Do you sit and go out and change your hair color to walk next to somebody? Of course not. Do you put on contacts that have a different color to walk next to a different crowd of people? No. You are just, when you walk down the street, you have the right to be you. You are being you as you are. The color of your eyes, the shape of your nose, the color of your hair, whatever color you choose to dye it, it doesn't matter. You are just being you. When you are just being Christ-like, the sad part is, ladies and gentlemen, negate, it's not sad. The thing we should comprehend is that we should be shining that at the intention that we're doing it for another all the time. But we don't have that kind of focus. We got 3D life to focus on, right? So, just be the Christ light. So if you're taking an opportunity to just shine Christ light and go down to downtown Manhattan and walk the streets, which I've done lots of times, not walk the streets. Don't everybody sit there and make fun of that or use that against me in a court of law. And just walk down the Manhattan streets or, a crowded area and shine my Christ light and just look around and watch what happens. I've done that a couple times. I'm just being me. I'm just being me. Sandra, you don't need to put, Sandra goes, would it be helpful to put yourself on a bench if you are having a physical issue? You don't need to put yourself on a bench. You just need to be the Christ light and let your Christ light heal you. You must visualize yourself being healed. Because only you can heal you, no one else can. The mall's a great place to do it too. Just a crowded area. Just walk and be you. You want to really freak people out? Don't put your phone on. Don't put your headsets on. Walk through a mall singing a spiritual song. Especially if you have my voice. You'll get 2 reactions like you won't believe. Maybe 3. Some people go, oh, she's a nut. Other people will run from you, and other people will come up to you and start joining you. Try going through a mall going, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, oh Lordy, this by yourself, just walking through. And as you walk past people, some people will join in. Others will look at you like you need one of those jackets, those big jackets, the white jackets with the long white sleeves, Do this. Just try it. It's fun. Put a little bounce in your step. You'd be surprised. And then while you're doing that, stop. And see who comes up and sings with you. Now, believe me, according to the world, I can't sing. Doesn't matter. Just try it. I can remember we used to walk down the streets when we had the gym and say, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And then each one of us would pick a different phrase and say, just put an intention to it for ourselves as we did it. So just do it. See what happens. Take it as a challenge. See what happens. I'm telling you, you'll be amazed. And the ones that look at you like, freaking nut job. Oh my God. And they'll grab their children. Well, this is the best. You'll watch some of them do this. They'll grab their kids and they'll pull them away from you. But the kids are coming to you. Don't go near that nutty lady. Are you crazy? That's what they're thinking. Come on, son. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hurry up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's hysterical. But don't do it with malice in your heart. Always ask your divine creative, this is the place I should do it. You know, use discernment. You don't want to get beat up for something. Leanne for her granddaughter Ellie. See, and this is what I was trying to tell you. Leanne, and there's nothing wrong with this, but she's writing a story of what's going on with Ellie. So we're going to use this as an example. Sorry, Leanne. You know, if you write in your chat, I get to rip it apart. It's part of the codes. Okay, requesting time on the bench for my granddaughter Ellie. After months of being sent to one doctor after another and one test after another, she saw an oncologist last week. Now CT scan this Thursday. Where is Leanne's focus, anybody? Where's Leanne's focus? On the sickness, on the dis-ease. Yep. So the proper way to ask this, Leanne, for everybody, is, my granddaughter is divine perfect health. And then we just sit, and the question is, call to the ascended masters or call to the lower masters, which is us, the wannabe masters. You know, we're in master school training, if you will. We're in Master 101. Call to the Masters 101 and ask them to amplify, intensify, and magnify your decree. So that's what we're doing. So Leanne, you have to do this yourself, but I'll give you an explanation. I'll give you an idea. If it was me, I would say, hold a vision of my granddaughter bouncing around, having a great time, completely health-free, completely divine, perfect health, and state, my granddaughter, it's not you, I forgot, my granddaughter Ellie, I didn't even have to say granddaughter, Ellie is divine, perfect health. She is. I call to the PPF masters, we can call them PPF masters if we want. I call to the PPF masters to amplify, intensify, and magnify my decree. Now, we can't do this for Ellie. Her mother has to, but you have some rights as a grandma, so we can. So we just sit there and we amplify the vision, we hold the vision, we amplify the vision of Christ light, and that will, if it's for Ellie's greatest, see, that's why you use Christ light, because none of us know if it's for Ellie's greatest and highest good. Sometimes people must go through a dis-ease, so when they grow up, they have the cure for it, which is stop eating shit food. But that's another thing. Get rid of all the evil stuff. But many things cause that they're doing. The Luciferian matrix is that the root of all evil. So all we have to do is be the Christ light. The Christ light connects to Ellie's Christ light, and Ellie's Christ light knows exactly what to do for Ellie. If she has to remain sick, she has to remain in dis-ease. If she doesn't, she will heal. It's up to Ellie's Christ light. Does that make sense? So everybody, let's just amplify, intensify Christ light for Grandma Leanne with her decree of Ellie being good. Is it okay to send divine Christ light to Mother Earth? Did she ask you? No, it's crossing dominion. But you can send Christ light. You're not sending it, you're being it. See, that's the difference. And I slip up with that too, because that's what we know. We're sending something. No, we're not sending anything. We're being. So Mari, if you want to just sit on the earth on a patch of grass or on a rock or on, I don't know, dirt and shine your Christ light, perfectly fine. There's no qualifying the energy for what Mother Earth needs. Judy writes a question. But I'm going to put it this way. Her grandson's wearing a shirt that has somebody else's name on it, a football player, and it bothers her. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. But Judy, he has the choice to do it. If his mother doesn't mind, no, you don't have to explain anything for him. What if you want to, you would ask him, hey, can I talk to you about that shirt? And if he says yes, then you can talk to him and you can tell him simply, why honor somebody else? Why not honor yourself? And buy him a shirt with his name on it as a football shirt. You don't want to thank, Marilyn, is it okay to walk around my yard and thank the trees? You don't want to thank anything. There's no such thing as thank you. Giving your energy away. You can appreciate, just like somebody appreciates my light, you can appreciate the flowers. You can appreciate the beauty. Absolutely. How do you know if you're shining your Christ light? You don't have to ask. Nope, there's nothing you need to do. I am divine Christ light. I am. That's it. Now, this is a good question. Julie says, should I feel something? Should I? If you would like to feel something, you don't have to. In the beginning, I would feel things. Now I just know it, okay? But if you want to feel something, ask your Christ light. Say, when I'm amplifying and maximizing to the best of my ability, my Christ light, let me feel it. You're talking to yourself. See, this is the part people have to comprehend. The Christ light is not outside of you, it's you. If you want your Christ light to slap you in the head every time you light it up, just tell it to. It's you. You're doing for yourself. Billy, Sue, and Helen. If you choose to light them up, light them up. If you choose to light, you see, I always make the mistake too. It's just the words I use and they're wrong. Negate, 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 ab initio. Oh, somebody asked me that. Ab initio, A-B-I-N-I-T-I-O. It means to abolish and initiate new. It's actually, they copied that. It's a legal law term in statutory law, but it came from divine. Everything that's in statutory comes from the divine. Okay, so if you can just be the Christ light resurrected in you and amplify and intensify it and magnify it within you and then walk down the streets, you're going to make a difference on this plane that you couldn't even dream of. And that's what I was saying. New Agers call people light workers. Is this work? Work is something the darkness invented because only slaves work. Divinity does not work. Divinity creates. Big difference. So everybody have a most enlightened, in-light day, standing in light, amplifying and intensifying your light, the Christ light, knowing the Christ light, and spend the day being the Christ light. And enjoy every minute of the Christ light. Hi, I'm Leana from PowerPassionFreedom.com. If you liked what you heard, why don't you come and join us on Sundays? We do a whole free question and answer period followed by a meditation. Bring all your questions. All you have to do is go to PowerPassionFreedom.com to register for Sunday. Oh, and don't forget to like us and subscribe to us below because we're always adding new meditations and content and you don't want to miss out on it. I'll see you Sunday.